Chris Griffin might be weird.
Chris, go to your room.
Sure thing, Mom. Just one more sniff of finesse.
But he had a list of weirder relationships throughout the show. So today, we're breaking down Chris Griffin weird relationships. Let's start the show. This episode takes an uncomfortable idea and reveals a surprisingly gentle reason behind it. What first looks disturbing slowly turns into a story about insecurity, hope, and how Chris sees his own future through his mother. Season 10, Episode 13. Chris comes home excited because he has a girlfriend. He describes her as nice, pretty, and sweet in his own awkward way.
She nice?
Yeah, she's really nice and super pretty, and her bicycle seat smells like strawberries.
Oh.
The family is cautiously supportive until Chris brings her over and everyone notices something strange.
Are you kidding me? Are they not seeing this? I know, it's kind of creepy. It's almost like he's dating Lois. Yeah.
The girl looks almost exactly like Lois. The situation becomes harder to ignore once the resemblance becomes obvious in the way she talks and acts.
Lois, don't you think maybe part of the reason you like Lindsay could be because she looks so much like you?
What? What are you talking about?
Things escalate when Lois spots the girl kissing another boy. That moment finally forces Lois to confront what she has been ignoring.
You think she looks like me too? Oh my God. I'm starting to think Brian was right.
She warns Chris that the girl is trouble, believing she sees the situation clearly now.
I saw her making out with another boy.
Was she kissing with her mouth or her pants mouth? Because she does both.
Chris admits he already knew. He explains that he stayed with her because she reminded him of Lois, not in a creepy way, but because seeing someone like his mom made him believe he could someday be loved by someone beautiful too.
I just look at you and Dad, you know? He's a complete train wreck, and you put up with him. And I'm no prize myself.
Lois is stunned by the honesty. The reasoning is awkward, but sincere. It reveals how highly Chris thinks of his mother and how deeply his self-doubt runs beneath the jokes. The relationship ends, but the moment leaves an impact. What starts as one of the weirdest plots turns into a quiet look at how much Chris values Lois, even if the execution makes everyone uncomfortable. This episode looks like a simple teen romance, but it quickly turns into a story about family tension, identity, and learning to let go. What starts with an innocent crush ends with two dads being forced to face their own fears. Season 12, Episode 18. The story begins with Chris out to eat with his family. A girl named Pam approaches him and compliments a book report he gave at school. The attention catches Chris off guard, but it is clear she genuinely likes him.
I like bumping into you outside of school.
You should move into our house.
You're funny, Chris.
The two flirt openly, and the moment ends with a quick kiss that surprises everyone. Not long after, Chris and Pam start officially dating. The family is shocked but supportive, especially since Chris, having a girlfriend, feels like a milestone.
And I have something to say. Chris, she's not fat.
What?
Peter makes his usual comments, but the real tension comes from Pam's father, Jerome, who is not happy about his daughter dating Chris.
Peter, you don't understand. I don't want Pam dating a white boy.
What? Jerome? You're a racist.
Peter invites Jerome and Pam over for dinner to smooth things out. Instead, the night becomes awkward fast. Jerome makes it clear that his issue is not just race, but trust. The Griffin's reputation does not help Chris' case at all.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You banged my wife.
She did? No wonder I had so much room in there.
With both fathers standing in the way, Chris and Pam decide to run away together. Pam leaves a note, and the two take off, convinced that being together is all that matters.
I gotta find my daughter.
Look, let me help you. I'm great at finding stuff.
Their plan is poorly thought out and quickly falls apart. Before anything serious happens, Peter and Jerome track them down. The situation finally forces an honest conversation. Jerome realizes his fears come from his own past, not from Chris. He admits that the next generation deserves a chance to do better.
You know, Peter, maybe I did overreact. Just because I've experienced some hard times doesn't mean this generation can't teach us a thing or two.
The episode ends with the relationship allowed to continue, at least for now. While the story is mainly about Jerome growth, it also shows Chris gaining confidence and experiencing young love for the first time, even if it comes with chaos. This episode turns a ridiculous fantasy into one of Chris' most surprising moments. What starts as a desperate attempt to find a date becomes a real connection, and ends with Chris making a sacrifice no one expects from him. Season 15, Episode 5. The story begins with homecoming approaching and Chris unable to get a date. Every attempt fails and rejection piles up fast.
I have an idea. You should ask Taylor Swift to the homecoming dance.
What? Why would she go to a dance with me?
Running out of options, he takes a wild shot and records a heartfelt video asking Taylor Swift to go with him.
This is some good stuff, Chris. I think it's ready to post.
Actually, Stewie, I changed my mind. I made my own video and posted it.
Against all odds, she responds. She agrees to attend the dance with Chris, instantly turning him into a school legend.
Hi, you must be Chris. I'm Taylor.
What's up?
When she arrives in person, the night actually goes well. They talk, dance, and genuinely enjoy each other's company.
You're so cool and down to earth.
I like you too, Taylor. I was scared meeting a celebrity, but you're so nice and normal.
After the dance, things take an unexpected turn. A new song is released that paints Chris in a harsh and humiliating light. The track becomes a hit, leaving Chris hurt and confused about what the relationship really meant.
Wow, look at these comments. Everyone hates you, Chris.
She's right. Check it out. You're already a meme.
Chris later learns the truth. She admits she thrives on heartbreak and conflict because it fuels her music and keeps her fans invested. When she tries to write something positive instead, the backlash is immediate and brutal.
Why were they being so mean to you?
Well, I guess they're just used to me being sad and hurt by men. But I don't care if they like it, Chris. I'm happy with you.
Realizing her career depends on pain, Chris makes a difficult choice. He deliberately insults her, giving her the heartbreak she needs to succeed.
Wow, Chris, that was really nice of you.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't worry, there'll be plenty of girls for you.
It ends their relationship, but restores her image with her fans. The episode closes with Chris alone, but proud. He gives up a once-in-a-lifetime relationship to protect someone else's future, proving that beneath the jokes, Chris is capable of real selflessness. Season 13, Episode 11 is where Chris Griffin stops being just stupid and becomes a full-on cautionary tale. This is the episode where he steals half the neighborhood, assembles the stolen parts into a life-size girlfriend, and genuinely believes he is in a healthy relationship. This kid does not need therapy. He needs a factory reset. It all starts when Peter and the guys form a cheap detective agency. They use a nanny cam and accidentally catch Chris sneaking into houses and stealing random objects.
Oh my God, Chris stole all that stuff. No way, he wouldn't do that.
Peter, Chris is on the tape.
Peter searches his room, expecting to find a stash. What they find instead is nightmare fuel. Chris has built a full life-size girl out of every stolen object. Her name is Heather. She has a mop for hair, stolen shoes for feet, and a face made from whatever Chris could glue together without supervision.
Chris is still in his room with that disgusting homemade doll. He actually thinks it's his girlfriend.
And Chris is not treating her like a joke. He calls her his girlfriend. He talks to her. He protects her. Lois tries to get Peter to intervene, but Peter looks at Heather and somehow becomes even dumber than Chris. He says Heather is classy because she will not even let Chris get to second base yet. Chris beams with pride. Lois starts aging 10 years in 10 seconds. Things escalate fast. Heather takes over Chris's life. He reads her bedtime stories. He leaves gifts for her. And Lois watches all this, wondering how her son is somehow dating better than she is.
You're such a sweetheart.
Read the card.
To Heather from Chris.
Oh.
Eventually, Lois snaps. She cannot handle the fact that a pile of stolen junk is being treated with more romance than she gets from her husband. So she does the most rational and mature thing possible. She kidnaps Heather, drags her into the woods, digs a shallow grave, and buries her.
Mom, Heather's disappeared. Have you seen her?
No, I haven't, sweetheart.
Then Lois calmly tells Chris she wants to take a walk with him. A walk straight to the spot where Heather is lying in the dirt like a cheap horror movie prop. They dig her up together, and Chris cries like he just lost a real person. Lois apologizes and says if Chris ever treats a real woman the way he treated Heather, he will make her very happy.
You ever treat a real woman the way you treat that doll, you're gonna make her very happy.
Really?
Chris, in full dramatic grief, picks up a knife and finishes Heather so she can rest in peace. In Season 12, Episode 14, Chris tries to spend some quality time with Peter, but Peter would rather watch TV than go fishing with his son. Chris ends up turning to Carter instead, who is stuck in bed and needs help with everything. Chris handles it without complaining, and Carter actually starts to enjoy having him around.
God, I wish there was a way I could just do it myself.
Let me show you something.
That was amazing!
Carter is so grateful that he decides to reward Chris. First, he tries offering money, but Chris politely refuses. That makes Carter respect him even more, so he makes a bigger decision. He changes his will and names Chris as the sole heir to the entire family fortune.
I have decided to change my will.
and name my grandson Chris the sole heir to the Pewterschmidt fortune.
When Peter hears this, he immediately wants in. He tries bonding with Chris through hot dogs and video games, but he gets tired of pretending to care. Then he gets an idea that only Peter would think is reasonable. If he marries Chris, he can get a legal share of the inheritance. Peter proposes to Chris. Chris is confused, but he says yes because he thinks this means they will finally spend more time together. So the two of them go to Vermont, where the wedding is legal, and Peter gets ready to become Chris' husband so he can live off the future money.
Why do we have all these appointments? Wedding DJ, florist?
Because, Chris, it takes time to plan a perfect wedding.
Right before the ceremony starts, Lois bursts into the room. She tells Chris that he is being manipulated and tells Peter he should be ashamed. Chris hesitates for a moment, torn between wanting approval from his dad and knowing how wrong this looks.
And if being married means I get to spend even more time with my dad, then it's worth it.
When Peter sees how hurt Chris is, the whole thing finally hits him. He realizes the only reason Chris agreed was because he wanted his father's attention. Peter lets go of the plan and tells Chris he does not want to marry him. He wants to actually be his dad.